Greetings, I'm Barrett, and welcome to Meet Me at the Table. We are continuing our playthrough of Myth. We're running through the Stone of Life. It's a module by MegaCon Games. It's a one skull module, and now that the second edition material is out, that actually means something. The one skull rating, is built for novice heroes, so anybody just right from the very beginning. And as we continue to grow in power, we'll be able to tackle 2, 3, or even 4 skull modules as the game progresses. In this module, we're on the 3rd act. We're just about ready to start, and I have added all the second edition material to the Myth world. If you're not really sure what I'm talking about, there's an unboxing video on my channel about the second edition material that we just got shipped. Actually, it's all the paper components, I should say, for the Journeyman. It's not really a second edition material. It's the Journeyman printed materials that all got sent to a lot of the backers. So if you want to check that out, it is in my channel. Once you watch that, come on back and we'll finish up the 3rd act. Will our brave adventurers have what it takes to uncover the true meaning of the Stone of Life? Or will they succumb to the darkness and meet their end here in the Stone of Life module? To find out, I need you to meet me at the table. Let us start Act 3, A Child of Mother. Nature is both amazing and frightening. She at once made the crawlers and that thing you hunt with all the legs. She also made the finger of God and the cave which you walk through now. You had expected something different. Having been in caves before, you knew they were dark and menacing things, but this cave is not. The cave has minerals that glow with a soft, pleasant green light. A small underground stream flows out toward the cave entrance and the finger's basin. Waterfalls under waterfalls. Bright colored crystals grow in clumps near the glowing minerals, refracting the light around the walls of the cave. You encounter a crawler here and there. In small numbers, crawlers are no threat to you. You had expected and continue to expect more. From what you can tell, you are walking steadily upward. Every so often, the cave contracts, bringing feelings of anxiety and being forever lost. But those moments are few and far between. For the most part, the cave stays quiet, open, and large. The trail continues to move away from you, deeper into the cave. You expect to have fought the things again. You had expected an ambush or trap, but always the trail keeps leading away from you. Up ahead, the cave closes in. On the other side, it opens again. It seems brighter. The sound of chittering crawlers resonates against the stone. Perhaps you had reached the final battle at last. Here are a few things we're going to find in this act. Our restrictions are that we cannot abandon a realm tile. Our goal is to defeat the Terror of 1,000 Legs. A failed condition is if the heroes die or we abandon a tile. Our reward will be found in the resolution section, and in the special edition section here, it says that we cannot use serendipity to summon a merchant in this act. That could be kind of tough. Once we set our realm tile up, there are going to be a few references. One is going to be this Kelmite deposit. And it says here, the 2 Iathi layers, I hope I pronounced that right, sorry if I didn't, are Kelmite deposits. They are not considered layers for this module. They may be searched by a player who ends their turn adjacent to them and spends 1 movement point. Discard the layer and roll a d10 on the following table. You'll collect your reward or punishment. I'm not going to show you all of it. I know you can see Lucky Potion, but that's all you're going to see for now. All right, and the second one we have is going to be the altar to Aya. It says the altar of Aya token may be searched by a player who ends their turn adjacent to this token and spends 1 movement point. Discard the movement point, roll a d10 on the following table. And the last but not least, we're going to discuss how to actually get off the realm tile. And that is through a hole, an underground entrance realm object. The hole token is the exit up and out of this tile. If any hero ends their turn adjacent to the hole, they may leave the tile and cannot return. Now that we understand those 3 references, let's finish up our story and go to the realm tile and try to escape. It says, the cavern is large, larger than any you have seen so far. It is also unnatural. It has been excavated. It had been made. On the far side of the cavern, the dugout earth slopes up to a hole that shines with the bright light of the day. It is the first hint of the sun that you have seen since entering the cave. It is blinding. You must have walked all night. The trail clearly leads up and out. In the middle of the cave is a crawler's nest. Around it walks a stalker. Fighting through this would not be easy, but it isn't enough to stop you. In your marrow, you know the terror is waiting for you above. That it is indeed a trap you will spring. Before we move on to our realm tile, I do want to say that we do have to switch out a card. And at the end of my last video, I asked for some suggestions as to what would be a great plan for each character. Sadly, I really didn't get much of a response. So I'm going to go ahead and make some choices. If you think these are pretty bad, go ahead and tell me. But this is what I decided to do. Through the needle's eye, I have decided to remove from my deck, and I have added Pacify. Since this is kind of a card that I haven't seen from any other deck, and it's just nice to reduce the darkness meter. So we're going to add that to our Archer's deck. I also want to mention that I've got some really neat new player mats. These were sent to me by Matthew McCabe. He on Facebook in the Myth group had offered to produce these for anybody who's interested. And well, I was interested. So I just wanted to say thanks to him for making these. These look really great. They're on neoprene and they're really cool. They actually hold all the cards very nicely in their sleeves. Look at that. That's so nice. I reached out to him to just ask if I could say thanks, and he said I could. And also he wanted to mention that this is something he actually found on Boardgame Geek from somebody else. And I don't know that person's name, but he was the one who was able to produce these and I was able to pick some, buy them and put them out. So here we go. We got these neat mats. It's got our little health tokens and our threat marker. And it also shows where we can put some coins. We got our backpack stuff. Here's our player token. Here's if you get titles, you can put them here. You can put your status effects here. So if you get poisoned, for example, you can just go ahead and drop your poison token on so you can remember. Now this right here, I haven't used before, but it is actually this set of icons right here. And there is a token that was set out during the Journeyman. I don't have it with me right now. And so you can actually put it on here to denote how you are moving. So when you go to play cards, you don't mistakenly play a card you couldn't based on your movement. And that's just really neat that he incorporated that. Now I'm going to add this to my deck, and I'm going to keep these out. But in the game while we're playing, I still might use the dials from Gloomhaven, because then I can at least bring them up to the screen while we're actually on the realm tile. And I don't have to be going back and forth to show you that he's lost a hit point or something. But when we go to do our hero deck phase, I'll make sure that these are where they're supposed to be in relation to the dial that we're going to be using. Now that Karen the Archer is done, we're going to put Pacify into our deck, shuffle it. We're going to get 5 cards, and we're going to start with her. And Karen our Archer started with To the Knee. Oh, we started with Orion's Tear. I was really hoping we'd save that. I really wanted to use that later. Gift of the Underworld, a Retrieve card. Oh, we got 1 ammo card. Okay, well, we got 1. That's better than nothing. All right, let's move on to our Acolyte, Ben. All right, here's Ben the Acolyte. He still has our Stone of Life, and he's pretty happy about that. Now, with the card change, I decided to remove one of my Consuming Fires and replaced it with Chant of the Morning. But I'll tell you right now, this was a tough decision because I really, really like that angelic word. But I figured I've got some people that can already do damage. So I figured keeping him more in the healing role would probably be my best bet. So we're going to add this to his deck. We're going to remove this one, and we're going to draw 5 cards. And we're going to see what he gets. And Ben gets Sprint, Soothe Wounds, Blood of an Overcomer, Last Rites, and a Prey card. All right, that's what he starts with. Now let's move on to Brian the Outsider. With Brian the Outsider, I decided to remove Surrogate just because we already have some healing with our Acolyte, so I don't think we're going to need this card anymore. And I actually put in Path of Faith, which says, spend 1 Malice token. Each other hero within range may discard 2 cards to automatically pass courage tests. I did that because since we're fighting crawlers, we might need to pass some courage tests. So let's mix this into our deck. All right, Brian starts with Hustle, Blade of Hate. Oh, he starts with his Path of Faith. That's going to be a little early. Sojourner's Path, and I'll take that. And that's his starting hand. Let's move on to Alex the Swordsman. This card trade out was a little bit easier, I feel. I removed his attack card. If you watched my last video, it doesn't synergize with when he pulls out his blade to attack in his kata. So we're just going to remove his attack card completely. And I put in Sunset Splash, mainly because it's a diagonal one, and that one can link horizontal and verticals together. That's the reason I put this in here. All right, now let's mix that in with the rest of his deck, and let's see what he gets. All right, Alex the Swordsman starts with drawing the blade. That's a great start. Diagonal Slash. Overcome is the outcome is decided. If I could read, that might help. I'll take that. And a Hustle card. Okay, he actually got some really good cards to start with. Now let's go to our realm tile. And here's the realm tile all set up. We have our 4 heroes right here. And then look at, not only do we have a lair to deal with, look at all these crawlers that are already ready to kill us. And here's that stalker that the story talked about. Now here's that, did I say dolomite or something up here? I already forgot what I said. And then this is that altar. It's right down here. There's also one more over here. It's just right off camera. That's right here, ready to be searched. Now this tile is kind of unique and it kind of connects together, which is pretty cool. Now there is some blue area here where we can't walk on. I'm kind of wondering why they're able to be in there. But you can't walk into this, but you can fire through this. Now remember, our lairs are going to be blocking line of sight to our heroes, but the monsters don't block line of sight to our heroes through their own lairs. Did that make sense? Oh, I sure hope so. All right. The only person, of course, is our archer. She has nothing blocks her line of sight, really, so she can just shoot about anything. So our goal is always to take out a lair before it can spawn things. Let's see if we can do that. And per usual, our archer is going to ready an ammo card. And then she's going to move 2 squares. 1, 2. Ben, our acolyte, is going to play Sprint. Move. You gain 3 additional movement points. And he is going to move 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2 his base move. Now he's going to try to stay out of their activation because he doesn't have any threat right now. And our crawlers have a threat value of 3, or like a detection value, you should say. I know there's a name for it. I'm sorry, I forgot what it is. So as long as he stays within their threat range, which is determined by that number that you saw, 3, and his actual threat. So right now, 1, 2, 3, he's not going to trigger these crawlers from where he stands. Brian's got a Hustle card. Move. You gain 2 additional movement points. And we're going to play that in action slot 1. And he again gets to move 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then he's got the Ring of Nira, which means he gets to do 1 more movement point. So he gets to go 1, 2, 1, 2, 1 more. He's going to go up right next to the Acolyte. And Alex, our swordsman, is last, and he's also going to play Hustle. Move. You gain 2 additional movement points. Alex is going to move up 1, 2, 3, 4 to here. So our guys are all ready to go in here for the next attack. Now, the sad thing is that raised the darkness 3 AP. So our darkness is going to go up by 3. Sadly, as you can tell, I don't have my darkness app again. 1, 2, 3. So we're at 4 right. Oh, sorry. We're at 3 right now. The darkness meter. There we go. We're going to move into the hero deck phase, and then we're going to move into the refresh phase. During the refresh phase, you are able, or you have to, I should say you're able to, you have to move the AP up equal to the number of active enemies types on your realm tile. There aren't going to be none because 1, 2, 3, again, I'm out of their actual threat range. So there aren't going to be any active enemies, so our AP is not going to go up. Let's go get some new cards and hopefully come on in and do some good damage. We're going to start with Karen, our archer. We're going to look through and see which one we keep. It's a super no-brainer. We're keeping Orion's Tear. And we're going to discard the other 3 cards. And we're going to draw 4 more up to 5. So let's see what she got. Karen got Vision of the Mark. Oh, that's going to be glorious. If I can get some ammo. Oh, look, Karan's Payment. We got all our good cards. Wayfarer's Roots. Come on, ammo card. Oh, no, we got no ammo cards. Okay, well, I know what this... I have a feeling this is about to go shooting into a lair. So that is her card. She only has 1 ammo. Oh, that's so sad. All right, we're going to clear Ben's Hustle card, and then we're going to go through and figure out what we should keep. I think we're going to keep Last Rites. So we're going to put that down and grab 4 more. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Let's see what Ben the Acolyte got. Stand Fast, Smite, Blessing of the Dawn. Oh, and another Last Rites card. Okay, that's not too bad. I just want to quickly look through and see how many Faith cards we have in here. 1. Oh, boy. All right. This isn't really starting that great. Next is Brian, our Outsider. We're going to discard this card. Discard this card. We are going to keep Blade of Hate. I have a feeling that we might be triggering the darkness, and being able to take some crawlers out will be good. We're going to grab 4 more cards. And Brian got Curse, another Sojourner's Path. Oh, Alone in the Dark. That's going to be really good if I can get next to that captain. And then Skylance. Oh, wow, he's got some great cards too. I guess I shouldn't say and 2. He actually has good cards. The other 2, he got some good cards, but I need ammo for 1, and the other one's got no faith. Moving on to Alex, we're going to discard Hustle, and he's going to keep 1 of his cards. I'm choosing to keep drawing the Blade, mainly because I really kind of want to get his kata going. And he got Swordsman's Will, Bladed, Sunset Slash, and I'll take that. Oh, I think he got some good cards too. At least our melee guys got some pretty good cards. All right, we're back to the realm tile. Now I have to make a couple corrections. I have a older version of the Stone of Life module, and there's a more recent one that's actually part of the download sections on MegaCon Games. In the newer section, it does say that all tiles are limited to 3 treasures in this act. So I'm going to remove these 3. We're only allowed 3 treasures on any tile we go to. This is also in play. I forgot to talk about this. This is the exit. I forgot to mention that when we originally showed off the tile. So it's right here. Now let's see what our brave heroes can do. Ben the Acolyte is going to go first. He's going to play Blessing of the Dawn. It states, Faith, range tile. Each hero within range gains a number of fate dice to attack actions equal to your faith. And we're going to put this into action space 1. It's nice to get some fate dice, but I'm really just using it for the faith more than anything else. He's going to move up 1, and then he's also going to go 1 more, I think. 1, 2, 3. No, he can shoot from here. He's going to play Last Rites. It states, damage 1, range 4. Attack Holy Relic. Attack 1 target within range. This attack also affects a number of squares equal to your faith, counted clockwise in a cross. Players choose position 1. And so here's the positioning we can use. I'm going to target this one right here. So now I'm going to lay the card like this. So it's going to target here and then go 1, 2. I have 2 faith. 1 from being an acolyte and 1 for blessings of the dawn. So that is going to be our first attack. This attack is going to go do 2 AP. So I'm going to move that up. 1, 2. We're at 5 on the darkness track. Oh, you can't really see that. There, how about that? We're up here. We're at 5. All right, let's go to the dice tray and roll up some dice. Creating our dice pool, Ben the Acolyte is going to get 1d10 and a fate dice for being an acolyte. He's going to get 2d10 and a fate dice for his weapon, Dark Crystal. And he's also going to get 2 fate dice from his Blessing of the Dawn. So we're going to roll these up. He needs a 4 to hit the crawlers, and he needs a 3 to hit the lairs. So he has to hit at least with those 2 numbers. Let's see how he does. He got plenty of hits here. He got a 4, 6, and an 8. And he did get his faith dice recipe, which means we get to put a card from our discard pile back on top of the deck. Hitting 3 crawlers is going to bring his threat up to 3. And like I said, I'm going to use these dials just to make things a little bit easier instead of having to go back and forth. So our Acolyte attacked this one, and this one. So he killed 2 crawlers. He didn't gain any treasure because he didn't kill 3 characters in one shot. But he did do 1 damage to the lair. So I'm going to put this on our lair. The lair has 5 health, so it's down to 4. I have chosen to put Blood of an Overcomer back on top of our deck because if these guys all activate an attack, there's a chance one of us might get poisoned. Our next to go is going to be Brian, our outsider. He's going to move 1, 2 to there. And then he's going to play Skylance. It says damage 3, range 1, attack, massive, melee, move. Choose 1 square within 3 squares. Move into the chosen square and attack 1 target within range. Spend 2 malice tokens to turn this card into a reaction. So he's going to move 1, 2, 3 to here, and he's going to Skylance this lair right here. And we're going to pay 2 of his malice to turn this card into a reaction. We're going to place this card into action space 1. And it's going to go 2 AP. So I'm going to move that up 1, 2. So we're going to be triggering a darkness cycle after this. Oh, you can't see that. Well, it's at 1 right now. All right, creating a dice pool for Ben the Outsider. He gets 1d10 and a fate dice for being, well, an outsider. And he gets 2d10 and 2 fate dice for using Talon. Skylance also gives him 3 fate dice. So let's roll these up. He needs a 3. He got plenty of hits. Now, his fate recipe is going to be nature, which he didn't get. No, it's not nature. I lied. It's guile. Guile is his fate symbol. So sadly, he didn't get his fate dice recipe, but that's okay. He did 3 damage to the lair. So he did 2 AP. So he does 1, 2. It was at 5. 1, 2 over to here. So it does recycle back across, which is going to cause us to take a darkness card. But before we do that, we're going to add 3 damage to our lair. It's down to 1. And let's see what our darkness card says. Event. For this activation only treat the threat penalty event as threat level 8. There's no threat penalty. And the activation, that's it. The activation is just going to be, we're going to do our minions first, then our captain, and our spawn is going to be, oh no, it's a deadly spawn. Spawn 2 captains. Oh no, that's going to be pretty bad. Okay, that's our event, that's our darkness card. So let's go resolve that on the board. We're going to activate our minions first. They attack on proximity and then threat. They have a 4 movement, and their proximity really puts Brian the Outsider in a lot of danger here. All these guys are the closest they can get is to Brian the Outsider. But don't worry, Brian the Outsider has a trick up his sleeve. He's going to play Alone in the Dark. It has a range of 4. So a range of 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's going to affect this stalker right here. It says, choose 1 captain within range. The captain becomes the only priority for minions on the realm tile. So that means all these minions are going to be attacking this captain. And that's great. So he's going to try to do a ranged attack on him. He's going to move back because you always try to get the people with range out of the camera so you can't see him anymore. No, I'm kidding. But he did actually go out of the camera. I'm sorry about that. He actually is going to try to back up so he's always at maximum range of his target. Now, this is a melee crawler. It's just going to turn an attack. This is going to turn an attack. 1, 2. And now, since they go on instinct, they don't try to make room for their friends. They just go ahead and stop as soon as they hit the person they're going to attack. This person, again, wants to get the maximum range. But according to the rules, you can't walk into these blue spaces, so I don't know why they started here. Maybe the crawlers have a special rule that I don't know about, but I don't think they can walk into this blue space. But they can walk over their own lair, which puts this 1, 2, 3, which means this character has to get into this area to shoot, so he can't. But he could get back here, 2, 3, 4, and then 1, 2, 3. He's 3 squares away. That works. Now this is another melee character. He's going to go over his lair, 1, 2, 3. I believe he can do that. If not, I apologize, and I'm totally moving these guys wrong. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then this one's going to move Oh, no, I think he's just going to move right to here because he's going to kind of follow this pack mentality. In theory, I think that's how it works. I'm not the greatest at moving a lot of minions at once because there's this whole rule about like following a scout. And I kind of sometimes mess that up a little bit. But I think we got everything where they're supposed to be. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 melee crawlers and 3 range crawlers attacking this poor captain. And he's really sad right now. Now, in order for these crawlers to attack, according to the fear aura, says they have to pass a courage test, and their courage is 4. I believe they still have to take it even though they're of the same class or same monster type because they're really attacking this crawler. So they have to still probably pass a fear check because of our stalker's fear aura. Our fear aura states a hero must pass a courage test in order to attack this figure or any figure adjacent to the figure. In this, if the test is failed, the attacking hero may roll only 1d10 for the attack. Okay, so it does actually say hero on it, so they're not actually heroes, they're minions. And the other thing is they actually have 1 attack, so it doesn't really matter if they pass it or not. So it is all a moot point anyway, whether they need to take the fear test. According to what I've read on that card, it does say hero. These aren't heroes. I would say they don't need to take a fear test. And they only roll 1d10 anyway. Now, if we look again at our crawler card, our melee crawlers roll 1d10. They have 1 attack and can target 1 character. They need a 7 to hit. So if I remember I did this last time, I think what I need to do is they need to roll a 7 in order to hit this creature. So we're going to go to the dice and see what we do. All right, so I've got 8 dice for 8 attacks from these crawlers. They need a 7 to hit the stalker. And I got him 1, 2, 3. Well, these are the best crawlers ever. This was a 7. Let's see if I can make it go back to a 7. If I can ever find the 7. There it is. 7, 7. Okay, so we hit him 4 times. That crawler's dead. Or stalker, sorry. That stalker's dead. All right. Good news, bad news. Our stalker is dead. I don't get a treasure drop for that, though, because our heroes are not the one that killed it. But he is dead. We move on to the captain's turn, and since the captain's gone, he can't activate. Our spawn activates, though, and puts 2 stalkers out. I can't put them in the blue area, and I can't put them on the lair. So this is the only legal spot I can really spawn them is down here. So I'm going to move the camera a little bit. I'm going to bump it too. It's going to be awesome. So we got our 2 stalkers down here. Brian the Outsider here. All our minions are there. There's a couple back here. Playing alone in the dark will raise our AP 1. So I'm going to move our camera a little bit. Up to here. 1. There we go. Now we're going to bring it back down. I'm going to kind of pan out a little bit. We're going to put this into action space 2. Also during the darkness, our swordsman Alex is going to play Bladed. It states move. After resolving an enemy attack, gain 2 movement points to spend immediately. Your next attack gains +1 damage. So we're going to put this into action space 1, and it doesn't cost any AP. He's going to move 1, 2. I'm going to readjust the camera. I don't really care about this crawler. He's not part of the deal. We're going to move it down so we can see what's going on. This is our main focus right here. Our swordsman is going to search this tile and then move to here. So we're going to roll a d10 and see how we do. He got a 1. Well, I'll tell you right now, that's no good. It says right here, nothing. Nothing at all. I needed a 10 to get Kyra's tier blue item. Now that we've searched this, this goes away. And now it's going to be our swordsman's turn to continue. He is going to play Sunset Slash. I always want to call it Sunset Splash, but no, it's not. There's a local ice cream store that sells this really awesome dessert called Sunset Splash. But that's beyond the point. And he's going to play it in this direction. So what he's going to do is, according to our movement pattern here, if I can get it in focus, so he's going to move that way, then that way, and then that way. So he's going to go 1, 1, 2, and he's going to end right here as long as he can kill this crawler. So we're going to put this into action space 2, and it's going to do 3 AP. Alex's dice pool consists of 1d10 and a fate dice for himself, 2d10 and a fate dice for his sword, and then he also gets 2d10 for playing Sunset Slash. So we're going to go ahead and roll these up. Oh, I forgot something. He has to take a fear test first. That's the first thing he has to do because he's attacking a stalker. So he's got a courage of 6. Oh, he didn't make it. So all these dice I just talked about, mute point. He gets 1 die. So as I said, he gets 1d10, nothing else. So he's going to roll a die. He needs a good number. Oh, he got a 2. That's a fail. All right, he did absolutely nothing. The only thing Alex the swordsman managed to do was raise our AP 3. Thanks, Alex. Also, since he failed the action, he actually can't keep moving through. He has to stop right there. So he's kind of sad. I'm also kind of sad. Our next card is going to be Sojourner's Path, and this is kind of a waste, but it needs to be done. He's going to attack this lair with it. It's such a good card, but he's actually just going to waste it on this attack. Now, he's moving at this fashion, so he gets negative 1d10 for the roll. But this card states damage 1, range 1, attack melee, attack 3 targets within range as shown. For each malice token spent, reduce the AP cost of this card by 1. We're just eating up malice, but we're going to spend 2 more malice to make the darkness 0 on this card. And we're going to put this into number 3. Now, of course, before I can attack the lair, I have to make a fear test again, because the stalkers are adjacent to the lair. So I need to get a 6 or better. I got a 9. Good. Finally, somebody can do something. I get a d10 and a fate dice for being an outsider, 2d10 and a fate dice for Talon, and I also get 2 fate dice for Blessings of the Dawn, because this is actually an attack action. Now, having moved aggressively, I have to remove a d10. So he needs a 3 or better on these dice. And he got it. He got 1 3 or better. And he also got his Guile symbol, which will put damage over time on the lair, which I wish he would have got last time and I wouldn't have had to use Sojourner's Path. But that's okay. Our lair is dead, so I'm going to remove that, and I get to drop a treasure token onto the board. I'm going to we'll put it right there. That card gave no darkness because I used 2 of my malice. We're going to move on to Karen the Archer here, and she's going to go 2, and then she's going to play a card that is going to kill that stalker. She's going to play Karan's Payment. It says, damage 3, ranged weapon, attack critical, ranged. Attack 1 target within range. And since I moved, I get 1 additional fate dice. I'm going to use this ammo card. And before we make our attack, I'm going to give 1 more threat to Brian. Now let's go hit this stalker. Before we make our attack, we have to make our courage test. Come on, Karen, be as brave as Father Reynold. If you don't know what that is, go check my folklore playthroughs. There's my shameless plug, and go. Yeah, she got a 6. All right, we get to use our whole dice pool. She gets a d10 and a fate dice for herself, 2 d10 and a fate dice for her weapon. She gets 2 fate dice from Blessing of the Dawn, a 1 extra fate dice from Karan's Payment. Let's get this stalker. Our stalker has a defense of 5, so she needs to roll a 5 or better. And she got a 6. Whew, that was close. All right, but she didn't get her fate dice recipe. That's okay. All right, another stalker down. Let's remove him from the board, and we get to put another treasure token on the board. We're going to put that one right here. I'm going to put it right there next to that guy. We're going to put this into action slot 1 and gain 2 AP on the darkness track. Also, Karen's threat is going to go up by 3. So she's at 3 threat. Our darkness is going to go 1, 2, and we're going to create a darkness cycle. Let's see what happens. It says, I'm real blurry, you can't read me. Oh, it says, if all heroes are within 5 squares, minions attack twice. Oh, that's going to be terrible. Double the hero AP when adding to this. There's no threat penalty. Our activations are going to be minions, captains, mini-boss, and boss. And there's, thank goodness, no spawn. Look at that. Normal spawn, and then they attack. Oh, that would have been barfy. All right. So basically, this is the only thing we really have to worry about. Let's go check that out. So from the looks of things, everybody, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, yep, everybody is within 5 squares of each other. So these minions are all going to attack twice. And they're going to go first. They're also going to move based on proximity. So you're going to, again, I'm hoping I do this right. They have a speed value of 4. He's the closest one, and so is he. So these two are just going to kind of move first. And then all the rest of these are going to follow. So 1, 2, 3, 4, he's going to come this way. Again, he's in the blue. I don't really know if he can move through this blue stuff, but I'm going to let him do it. Now these would have to come all the way around, or instead 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or 1, 2, 3, 4. So technically these 1, 2, 3, 4 are going to come this way and try to get to this outsider. That's how I feel this works. Oh, this is a ranged one. I'm a moron. All right, wow, darn, where was he? He was probably back here. He backs up. 1, 2, he's going to go right there. 1, 2, 3. So that means this guy right here could have been the one that came in. I hope you followed all that. I kind of screwed this up. I didn't realize that guy was a ranged guy. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. And then he's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. So that's the minions' movements, and they're all going to attack Brian the Outsider. Now Brian the Outsider is going to play nothing and just be sad and hope nothing actually hits him. Now they need a 7 to actually hit Brian the Outsider. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 attacks against him. All right, so they have 8 attacks. This is the first time in a long time I've taken a major attack against my characters. I usually have some kind of plan. I don't have any plan for this. This is just going to be all around bad. So 1, 2, 3. 3 crawlers hit me. Now they get to roll their fate dice. And they get 3 fate dice for the 3 attacks that hit. So I'm going to put those over here. Now if they get the darkness symbol, he becomes poisoned. Whew, good news. They did not get any of their fate dice recipe. But he is going to take 3 damage. Before we take damage, though, he does have this ring that states ignore 1 damage per darkness cycle. So he's only going to take 2 damage. So he's going to go from 8 down to 6. Oops, wrong way. Now that we're done with the minions, we're going to move on to the Stalker. Now oh, wait a minute. Oh, the card says the minions attack twice. Oh, I totally forgot about that. Oh, this is going to be pretty bad for good old Brian the Outsider. All right, we have to go make another set of attacks with our minions. The crawlers get 1 more attack. They need a 7 or better to hit. And they hit. Oh, they didn't hit. They've got a 1, a 6. This was a 1, I'm sorry. A 5, a 3, a 4, a 6. They missed with every attack. Oh, that's fantastic. All right, now let's go back to the board and we'll move on to our Stalker. Our next person that's going to move is our Stalker. He goes on proximity and then threat. These two are really equidistant. The problem is he has more threat, so his attempt is to go after this guy. Our Stalker has a special ability. It's called Burrow. It says if no target is available after moving this figure, roll 2 fate dice. On a darkness result, this figure exchanges squares with up to 2 insect minions adjacent to the highest priority hero. Okay, the way I read that is he will do this Burrow if he has no targets. He does have a target right here. He can't get to this guy, which would be his main target, but he can get to him. So I think he's going to move 1, 2 over here and attack Alex, our swordsman. So if you look at the Stalker card, it states that they roll 2d10 when they make an attack. They do have 2 attacks targeting 1 character, and they need only a 5 to hit. So their first attack hits, and it does 1 damage. Our swordsman is going to play his I'll take that. It says parry, ignore 1 enemy attack targeting you. I'm going to put that into action space 3. So that's a miss. We're going to do our Stalker's second attack. Oh, that one hit as well. Now both of these hit, but it really only does 1 damage. It's kind of like when we hit. There are monsters that actually do damage equal to the amount of hits they do. This is not one of them. Now I do have this card, and it states a swordsman's will. If you receive any damage during this darkness cycle, then the next card you play costs 0 AP. I would normally play this card, but this is going to go into action space 4, and he won't be able to play any other cards before all these have to clear, meaning the bonus for this card really wouldn't take effect. So I'm not going to play that card. I'd rather leave my space open to reduce threat that he doesn't actually have, so it really doesn't matter whether I play it or not. That's the end of the darkness phase, but we're going to raise our AP up 1 because we have 1 minion type on the board, because we're going to move into our hero deck cycle, and after that I'll have to move this up once we get our new cards. So the first thing we're going to do for Karen the Archer is we're going to lower her threat to 0. I didn't even need to use the dial. It's right here. It goes to 0. because we have 3 open slots. We're going to discard Karan's payment, and we're going to decide which one of these to keep. Again, no-brainer. I just hope we get some ammo this time. We're going to discard the other 3 and draw 4 more. 1, 2, 3, 4. Come on, let's get some ammo this time. Sprint, not ammo. Ammo, ammo, ammo. Oh yeah, there we go. We got a retrieve card. Oh, this is glorious. Okay, so this is good. We got some ammo cards and we got a retrieve card to bring ammo back into our hand. This is going to be perfect. I think we're going to have a good time with this character this turn. So she's all set. All right, Ben has 2 open spots, so we're going to lower his threat by 2. He's going to clear his 2 cards, and he is going to decide which one of these he'd like to keep, if any. We're going to keep Stand Fast. The only reason it gives the -1 to courage tests, and I'm going to have to try to hit that stalker. So we're going to keep that card, discard these 2, and draw 4 more to get to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's see what Ben gets. He got Well-Blooded Overcomer, no shocker there. Consuming Fire, Attend the Weak, which is a heal spell, and Righteous Fury. A number of heroes equal to your faith within range gain +1 damage to attack actions. Oh, that's really good. All right, I think we might be able to take that captain down. All right, moving on to Brian. He's going to lower his threat by 1 down to 3, clear his 3 cards that are here, and then he's going to decide if he wants to keep any of his other cards. I don't think we're going to keep either of our cards. I have Blade of Hate, which is really cool, but I'm only down to 2 Malice tokens. Drawing 5 cards, he gained Path of Nature, Hand of Darkness. Oh, good, a way to get Malice tokens back. Mind Splinter, Shrouded in Darkness. Oh, that'll be kind of nice. And a Sprint card. Okay, we're doing pretty good. We're finally getting some good draws that are going to help all our team. Alex is our last hero. He doesn't have any threat to go down, and he's going to decide to keep none of his cards. I really want to get some attacking cards. So we're going to draw 5 new ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's see what we got for Alex. We got another Drawing the Blade. Well, the blade's already out. Good. We got a Horizontal Slice, a Vertical Cut, a Bond Servant, okay, and also Hustle. We have to remember, I forgot to do this. My goal is to always remember to do this if I can. Sunset Slash was our last card we played in our kata, so I have to remember that, and I put it on top because so I remember what pattern I attacked in last. So that means after that, either one of these is I can do. I just can't do these back to back. So somehow I need to find another diagonal cut in there somewhere, or clean the blade and come back to starting a new kata. So he is ready to go. He is ready to go. Now we're going to move on to our ending. That's right, we're going to leave for now. We'll be coming back very soon. We'll have to catch up to Brian, Ben, Alex, and Karen in the next video. I hope you enjoyed this one. If you did, give it a like, hit that little bell symbol so you know when the next video comes. I'd love to hear anything in the comments. How much are you enjoying this? Are you okay with the advanced cards I added to the deck? Will our brave adventurers not only take out the rest of these crawlers, but also that stalker on the board? Or are they not going to be able to do that? And will they have enough to just escape this realm tile? To find out, I'll need you to meet me at the table.